speed run. You just fall off the platform to your death on the random boss at the end of the game and lose a hot 90 seconds. Anything can happen.
Yeah, one simple platforming mistake on Elevator, for example, or an auto-scroller can cost you, like, almost a minute.
Looks like they're starting, so Fo, it's time for the single most important part of the run. How are you going to evaluate these guys' outfits? Who's got the better fashion sense?
Boy, that's one tough question. I don't really have a particular way. I like both of their outfits a lot.
I kind of like what Matrix's going for here, because you don't see many other people try and take the stone skin and go for a metal look.
Yeah, that's true.
It's got the unique character to it, for sure.
Definitely. As one of the other people who used stone skin for a while, I'm sensing maybe a little bit of bias, perhaps, in the outfit selection.
I've already been called out for biased commentary. I wonder how the rest is free. Just kidding. No joke. Frayzlo wants us to commentate because we're good friends, and like, honestly, don't expect biased commentary in his favor. We're probably going to make fun of him as much as we can while still sounding vaguely professional. As much as we can get away with.
Vaguely professional? You're giving yourself a little too much credit there, friend.
I'm holding myself back. I'm professionally restrained. How about we talk about the video game?
Right.
Yeah, they're in the first area. Magic, no! Magic, I feel bad for him. The area is easy to make a mistake on. It's also one of the single most punching deaths in the entire speedrun when it comes to platforming sections, because even though it's a very simple section, it's one of the longest platforming stages in the game. So if you get tripped up there because maybe, you know, the fire guy teleports directly into your face, or you didn't kill the dog and he bounces back and chases you, it's about a 30-second time loss in the first 2 minutes of the game. It's just absolutely heart-crushing. I think what happened to Matrix is he chooses to jump over the dog on the way to the breaking platform section. I think that figuratively, metaphorically, and literally bit him in the butt. Frayzlo got his feather. Okay. Frayz got a lead.
Definitely a sizable advantage because of that unlucky circumstance facing Matt.
Yeah. I think he already took around a 30-second lead because of that. That's Wings of V. It
Definitely. I mean, people talk about floating key percent as a joke, but it's actually pretty legit. Like, it's very easy to lose huge hunks of time here and just to be like, well, yeah, that's a reset. But unfortunately, in a race scenario, you just have to try your best, and if you lose a large chunk of time, you just kind of gotta recompose yourself. For sure. Because once you get really good at this area, you start to realize you can't do much to make it go faster, but you can lose time due to the randomness of the teleporting enemies, like, anywhere. Although, if you're a god, you can do the famous jetty skip, which is sort of really, really precise flutter under a ledge. It's hard to describe, you just need to see someone do it. And you say the famous words, that doesn't look that hard, and then you sort of, like, regret saying those words for the rest of your life. Matrix coming up on the portal soon. Wow, despite a shaky start, he's actually, like, not too far behind, honestly. Maybe had some decent portal luck.
Frayzlo's into the first boss. So, do you think he's going... People have been famously swinging too early before a shield drops and doing a hilarious 7 instead of 8 damage there. Frayzlo thankfully realizes to be more patient. That attack's sort of funny, because she drops her shield to let you swing after every attack, but for some reason, if she summons that specific type of enemy, the shield takes an extra couple seconds to drop, so people tend to swing early and just make a fool out of themselves.
Yeah, having to do another cycle on Miyogi is a pretty huge time loss. It depends on the
attack. You could lose 3 seconds, you could lose 10.
Yeah.
Okay, Fray's got the clips. Is he getting the fast cycle here? Okay, he would have gotten the best cycle had he dodged that, the one he chose to slide under. He could have made it on that speed.
Yeah.
It's hard to go for, though. He didn't... I think he had to reset there, because if he was going to re-land on the bottom platform, he wouldn't have enough platforms to come back to after hitting the lever.
Yeah.
So if he
had to
accidentally
reset
bonked
there.
your head, for sure. Frayzlo could have just gone if he recognized the cycle he was on, but it's really hard to tell because, unless you did the previous run perfectly, if he chooses not to fire for a while, you're just sort of ambiguously sitting there wondering when the turret's going to fire. And you can bull rush it and go for it, but you really need to know exactly what cycle you're on to make it possible. Matrick is in fact done with the boss. He's going in. Frey still got a bit of a lead here.
Yeah.
Do you think Frey's actually going to debut his new skip he's been talking about to win the race?
Probably not.
Do you even believe it actually exists?
The new skip?
I feel like he's pulling a fast one on all of us.
The thing is, I never believe Frey actually has a skip until he reveals it, so...
Generally, I don't believe anything Frey says until proven otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much where I'm at. Like, I just have no reason to believe what he says is true until he actually does it, so... Until he actually skips something, I have no reason to believe that a skip actually exists.
But despite all that, he has discovered most of the major skips in this game. Pretty much all of them. If it's major, it was probably his. There's a few that were credited to other people, like Beaser Library Skip, but all the damage boost skips that skip major chunks of the game, mostly Frayzlo for sure. Although Frayzlo never established himself as like a top runner for the game, he loved to help other people find skips and strats and work on that, but he's definitely taking this game more seriously as a runner to try and really participate in the tournament. Is he getting good skip? He got good skip. We're good.
Yeah, so could you explain the difference between like good and bad skip?
Look at walk on air. Look, the cat. What is that?
I've never seen that. Have you seen that? That was really strange.
He got a bad dog, but wow. Okay. What I was gonna say is the difference between good skip and bad skip is you're skipping an auto-scroller section, and inside that section you have different physics where you have free movement, like in all directions. And if you sort of hit the very, very corner of that area while you're leaving it, it actually gives you the physics of the auto-scroller to manage to escape. Bad skip is when you escape, but you have regular physics and you have to travel on the ground as normal. And
yeah, so basically,
you get good skip.
Yeah, the difference is that the physics from the auto-scroller allow you to skip most of the platforming, whereas normal physics mean you have to do the platforming.
Matrick also got good skip.
I still think that was crazy though, just like the airwalk.
The airwalking.
Like, what is going on here, dude?
I don't know. Just having a good time. Maybe the actual secret to physics is a very, very invisible bicycle, and you gotta pedal it to keep going.
Alright, well I've never seen that airwalk stuff before. That's crazy.
Frayzlo has not taken any saves on the way to the boss. He wants to save warp back afterwards. It's usually what most people do, but if people take damage on the room right before the boss, they'll take the save before the boss for safety, and just sort of stomach having to walk back. There's a lot of stuff in this game where, as long as you do it, you can reset to your previous save, and it'll still count as being done. Not everything, but a lot of things let you use save skip strats to sort of reset your position afterwards. I think one hallmark of a good V-runner is how much damage they can do on the run attack where he runs back and forth. Following his movement and keeping inside the super short range of your weapon is actually really difficult.
Yeah, and not getting hit on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting optimal damage on this boss is pretty difficult because you have to follow his movement very exactly, which involves
and you don't know what attack he's you don't know what attack he's using immediately either. So you need to react.
Yeah, so you have to react. Yeah.
You can process of elimination it though, because he only has 4 attacks, and once he's used them all, he resets. But once he's down to 1, you know what's coming.
Yeah, precisely. So there's like a lot of knowledge that actually goes into this fight, whereas if you haven't really seen the game, it can a lot of that stuff can sort of go by unnoticed.
Yeah, for sure. If you're really lucky, he saves that attack where he shoots the sort of like arcing orbs. He's invincible during that one, so if he does the other 3 attacks, you can kill him without ever seeing the invincible attack, which is actually like a fair few seconds faster.
Yeah, we call that getting orbless, and it happens statistically way less often than you'd think it would, for whatever reason.
I say there's exactly a 50-50% chance that it happens or it don't. I'm pretty sure that's how statistics work.
I want to say something, but I'm just gonna let this one slide.
I'm a real mathematician, and I think you should just like defer to my expertise here. Okay, so Frey,
Alright.
it looks like what Frey does here is that he doesn't want to go for the backup safety heal, but he also wants this whole section to be safer, because the fastest way to do it is to take a 35 damage hit off the rotating blade, rather than waiting for the bug to hit you to get this damage boost. This whole section's scary because you're skipping saves, and there's no healing really unless you go for a slow backup, so you're really sort of trying to manage your health because you want to be able to tank hits later on, so the randomness of the bug's movement can't screw you and knock you into the abyss. Oh man, the skip is really hard, poor Frey.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes! There he goes.
So that's another skip that he discovered. You skip this entire difficult platforming section called the Troll Cave by basically going in and out of the door, so that way the rock hits you, which allows you to damage boost up to the top, which normally you wouldn't be able to get to.
You can't just get hit by a rock, because when you're on screen, the rock checks for collision on walls, and if it hits a wall, it explodes, but you're actually moving off screen and on screen at perfect timing to make the rock phase through the wall and sort of hit the doorway at the right time. Not only is getting hit by the rock difficult, but getting the proper height to jump out of that damage boost the rock gives you, that's not easy either. First try cave skip is a nice time save and a big deal. Matrix not that far behind. Although, what's going to come down to this for Matrix is if he can get the cave skip quickly.
Well, he was able to get through that section without too many problems.
Okay,
oh,
Matrix is really good at the cave skip.
That was crazy.
That was amazing.
He
didn't mention to me once that he's really good at the rhythm. He always gets hit by the rock every single time. So I'm proud
clearly,
of him.
I mean,
he's actually better at that than me.
Yeah, that he's not just all talk. Clearly, that was a first try skip.
I like how Frey discovered that skip and he's getting shown up in the execution.
Well, you know how it goes, man. No flame.
No flame.
Despite
That's
the
a very
fire
hard
wings.
skip for Frey to discover because it happened to accidentally, and trying to recreate it and then seeing if the damage was possible was something.
Yeah. And both the players going for Amethyst save skip, so they're in it to win it.
Yeah. They both dodged the extra rock after the cave skip to slow down just to make sure they go into the fight with 80 HP because they're skipping the save before it. They want to teleport to back outside the cave after the kill.
Yeah, so that
if
way
you're
it
really
saves them to
confident,
walk.
you can just sort of take the rock and just keep going. And that saves like a second or so as opposed to waiting for it, but you do have less HP for the fight.
That's a pretty costly death for Frayzlo there.
Yeah, that's a pretty substantial setback considering we don't take that yellow save. It gives Magic a little bit of wiggle room to catch up.
Yeah, after a pretty unlucky floating keep, looks like he'll hopefully, assuming he doesn't die here, be able to make some time back.
Whew.
Pretty close.
Jeez. Scaring me. He barely made it to the cave in the first place and barely made it for the boss. I'm sweating.
It's all going according to plan though. Just make you sweat here on commentary even though you're not playing. But yeah,
this jump's actually not easy. Did they save it? Okay, yeah. The reason it's harder than it looks is because if you're hugging the wall when you shoot down to hit the switch, the firing animation of your orbs wiggles left and right and it actually impacts the wall way before it reaches the switch. So you have to be just off the wall, but you need to be holding down the shoot while moving up. Since
and
you
also moving left.
The direction. Yeah.
Because you have to make it onto the platform. So it's actually like a lot of inputs at once, all kind of close together and precise. It's very difficult.
The fact that your attacks follow the same direction, same buttons you use to move your character, it's sort of a trick to get the right attack sometimes. And there's other tricks you can do in some places where you can let go of two keys at the same time, and you're standing still, but your last direction was set as diagonal. But that's a frame perfect, releasing both keys at the same time. It is useful in several places, though, for sure.
Yeah.
I believe on like the Pergora, you want to stay stationary while... Oh yeah, it's safety backup save for sure.
Yeah, eating that mine there is pretty much just like, alright, well, gotta take the save.
I mean, why not just go into the boss with 35 HP?
Considering that this boss does every once in a while throw an unblockable at you. It's probably not the best idea. And I say unblockable, but very rarely Dark Annihilator will create a situation where you can't avoid getting hit. Not
it's
very
usually
often,
when
but
the saw coordinates exactly with one of those like swarms of like the lines of vertical robots. When the saw coordinates with one and blocks off the gap, you can't really make it through. Most of the time you can, but there's a rare occasion we get the almost undodgeable RNG. Most of the time the fight is you won't have any guaranteed damage. It's really an exception rather than the rule, but it can happen.
yeah, especially if you're on a good doomed run, then it's almost guaranteed to happen.
Yep. What's also scary about this boss is if you go in with less HP because you wanted to save time skipping the save, one mistake can snowball, because if you don't kill one of those bombs, it'll carpet the ground in permanent sort of green fire that gets in the way from the rest of the fight. So your mistakes sort of like compile on each other and just make the fight more dangerous as you make more mistakes. Fray's done. Matrick is not far behind, as I've been saying the whole time.
He's very low on HP though. If he does get hit by an unblockable setup, it is over for him.
And this is the enraged part of the fight, so there's more to deal with the bots coming on the right. If you don't kill the bots, they'll actually heal the boss. You're not just dodging them, you're managing multiple things at this point of the fight. Did Matrick take the save before the boss? I was watching Frayzlo.
I don't think so.
Ah!
Very narrowly gets away from that one.
Oh,
Wow.
geez.
Alright, so he's managed to get through all these by the very skin of his teeth, it would seem.
How many close calls is that on Matrick's side? At least like 3 really clutch sections of the game.
Yeah, it's been 3, because there was Amethyst, there was the bugs.
Right before the cave, he was almost dead.
Yeah,
too.
Veil 2, he almost died to the troll's dying fire. And now
yeah,
Dark
Death
Annihilator.
Explosion hitbox.
Yeah.
Ugh. Wait, they're like exactly even. Where did Frayzlo die?
He just died on the
This is a very
platforming.
close race. Look at this.
Yeah, because he skipped this and then died on this section.
There's a lot of sections in the cave where you don't really need to save because you don't really take damage, and it's just kind of out of the way, so you go past it because it's faster. Especially in this area where you can get good cycles if you skip the saves. But yeah, that's, wow, very even race. It's kind of a setback for Frayzlo, but it's nice to see a race this close.
Yeah, he died on this minecart section. I don't really know what happened.
To be honest, we were commenting on metrics, so we kind of missed it, assuming this was a clean, free section. Yikes! Must have been like a 40-second death or something, for sure.
Yeah, I think he died at like... Oh, he died like probably at the end of the minecart is what happened.
Oh, like maybe he messed up that final jump?
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
They
It's,
are
it's
right
the
on
only
the
way
same
he could have
save.
lost that much time.
They're like 2 seconds off each other. Matrick's going for the upset. Ooh, Frayzlo's behind, okay. This is going back and forth. Matrick is caught all the way up!
Yeah?
You're freaking out about being behind literally a minute and 20 seconds into the game when you took a bad death, and we're like, dude, he's catching up, he's catching up. He's made it all the way back.
Yeah,
Oof.
well, just like one bad death to one bad death, that's how this game goes for sure.
And, you know, it might flip-flop a few more times, because the further you get into the
probably
run,
will.
the scarier the platformings get, the
One
more
person
choky the
gets
bosses get.
Mayogi skip, one person doesn't.
It's gonna be something. I'm looking forward to the rest of this race if it's already this close.
Well, we'll see how Terravine treats Matrick or vice versa.
I think the deal with Terravine is as long as you're decent at doing it, the RNG variance isn't more than a few seconds or so. So they just need to have a decent fight without having a major choke.
I think
you're
that
lucky-
like it's a matter of whether or not
Yeah.
he catches an orb with his face.
Yeah, those orbs will just end your fight by putting you to sleep and just sort of collapsing on a bunch of other stuff. They both got spores first. That's the attack where you want it to happen last. You want to kill him on his other 5 attacks and never see the spores because you can't really damage him during it. It's theoretically a 1/6 out of chance. I think the real actual chance measured by how often it happens in runs is roughly 1 out of like 7 million. It literally never happens. Baby rage.
Yeah, so basically,
Matt's dead.
oh gosh, an unfortunate setback for him, but he had been cutting it close with all the other bosses, so it was only a matter of time before Fate caught up with him. really.
And Laser's Last. It seems like Laser's Last is extremely common for some really strange reason. A little story about this game's RNG. We didn't understand why this game had specific strange RNG patterns for the boss selection, and it was clearly, like, not just, you know, runners complaining about bad RNG. It was actually, like, pretty easy to observe that some things are way more common than others. So we asked Solgren, hey, there's clearly patterns to the RNG, how do you do it? And he says, I don't know, it's just random out of 5. It's just a random function. He literally didn't put it in the game, it's happening anyway.
Yeah, there's a really no explanation as to why the bosses seem to have like observable patterns of attack and why some attacks happen last. A statistically improbable amount of times, like getting Orbless or getting Sporeless to happen last, just never seems to happen, even though statistically it should happen 1 in like every 6 tries or 4 tries. It is much less than that.
Yeah, I think there's just something really weird about how the game's, because he didn't design the random function. I think the random function itself is just strange. It's like how, you know, after Pregora starts with a high swoop, you can literally only see low swoop or vomit. Never win, never stomps. It literally can't happen if that's the first attack in the fight. It's not programmed into the game. It just works.
Yeah,
Don't worry, Solgren in the chat is helpfully telling me that he's never told me that. So either I'm a fraud or he's a fraud, and we'll just settle at that. Although I'm still backing my side of the story. I might be completely fraudulent, but I'm gonna double down. Okay, so Matrix also done with his thing. By the way, they have the dash wing power up. When you collect a wing, it gives you like 1 8-way directional dash that you can aim, and you can use it sort of in between all of the other movement things you have in the game, like your 2 jumps and your flutter jump. In addition to that, since a flutter is partially based on momentum, you can actually add some momentum from the vertical part of a dash and add it to your flutter with the correct timing. You can't do it, you can't mash it instantly, because using the flutter cancels the dash itself. So you need to use the flutter at the very tail end of the dash, so you're still gaining a significant amount of momentum, but you didn't cut off too much of your distance.
That he said a lot of words. Basically, allow me to translate. You can use the dash in conjunction with your flutter to gain extra height, and this extra height will allow you to access some areas you aren't supposed to.
I should just let you talk more.
Well, you're really good at the whole talking a lot thing, so it's okay. Matter of fact,
too technical. The person don't play the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, Frayzlo the boss. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, Craterack. I think he got. Did you see how many rocks he got?
That was a 4 rock. It's really hard to get a good setup on the rock spawns when it's done not as the last attack, because the rock spawns are based on both your position and your momentum. And if you don't get a really good setup for it, they spawn behind you, or you just run out of orbs with which to shoot them back into him. It's possible to 2-cycle this boss. It just basically never happens. Only a few people have actually accomplished it. It's highly dependent on a bunch of random factors as well as perfect execution. Yeah,
and you very famously threw a 2-cycle at SGDQ by throwing an orb into a wall.
I missed it by 1 HP.
Yeah, like it was doable. Like the RNG was perfect, and your execution was perfect, except for you threw an orb into a wall. And I was there for that, and it was really great.
I could like feel like the icy cringe coming from you on the couch, just like burning a hole into the back of my body. It was great.
Yeah, it was great. Same.
So Vrace is still pretty close, by the way. Matrix is about.
Oh no!
No! So. The reason it didn't have any platforms is because the platform spawns are based on how early you go after that phase ends, and if you drop down to try and get to the next phase as fast as possible, you really don't have any platforms waiting for you. If he had waited, he would have had platforms there to catch his fall. No! That was spooky.
Yeah, now he is finding himself decently far behind again, while Frey is collecting the 3 keys needed to progress from this area. Hopefully he doesn't accidentally take this last yellow save and lose a ton of time.
Oh, these saves are hilarious because you know, you're supposed to take every save because it means progress, right? Or you could just get the keys and save warp back so you don't have to walk back. Even funnier is that there's extra, like, obstacles in the reverse direction that get added if you take those saves. So it's just hilarious when a runner takes a save on an accident during a run, and they literally don't know how to deal with the obstacles because they haven't done it since their first playthrough of the game.
Yeah, which we have had happen in one of our races before, so luckily Frey wisely does not take any of those saves. That would have been pretty costly if he did.
Well, Matrix done at the boss unfortunately had to do the entire thing twice.
Yeah. Pretty unfortunate circumstances.
A little trick in this upcoming room. There's gonna be 4 dudes that spawn from the top left, but if you do the room really quickly, you sort of kill them before the rest of them spawn, and the barrier to the room goes down. I think he has to kill 3. Oh, okay. He got through.
Wow, that was really good movement to not get caught in the fog wall there.
Yeah, if you go for it and the one spawns, you actually get trapped in the wall, and you have to reset or try and kill the rest from inside the wall, which is completely random if they're nice to you. Okay, the skip. First try, please. That's it.
Easy every time.
Nice. That works because the fight trigger is a small rectangle in the middle of the arena. If you try and jump over it, the boss just kind of knocks you into the trigger area. So you bring an enemy into the area and you use your invincibility frames and try and gain as much height and distance as possible.
Yeah, and doing that allows you to get over the fight trigger, skipping it entirely. So we just skip the boss there. Don't have to fight him. Completely optional.
And it's probably, you know, it's a good thing for the run. The boss was like fun to do, but it took the exact amount of time to kill it every single time. Once he got good, it was basically an auto-scroller. Okay. Frayzlo's pretty close to library skip. This is where that flutter dash thing I mentioned comes into play, where you flutter at the very end of a dash from a dash swing. Get enough height here, and you can sort of skip like 30 seconds of platforming on the other side. Okay, worked well. You have to wait for cycles. Those big purple guys, if they see you, shoot lasers. You don't want to get shot by lasers.
Yeah, because they will stun you, and by stun I mean they'll slow you. You'll be paralyzed. So
it's
you'll
not worth it.
Yeah, really slow your walk speed. It's just much faster to wait.
Yeah,
like that.
Like that. Good. I like how Frey was listening to us, and he's like, you know what the commentators need? They need the audience to see this mechanic they haven't seen yet, and they probably won't see if I play too well. So he's just, you know...
I don't think anyone else has procced a brute to shoot them yet, so... Well, at least none of the races
you're
I've
the first to make a mistake!
Yeah?
That's kind of BS.
Oh my gosh. Elevator... So we were talking about this being one of the saves in the game earlier, where you can lose a very substantial amount of time if you choke it. If you do it at the end, it's about a minute.
It's one of the time-lossingest platforming saves in the game if you make a mistake at the end, for sure.
And it feels really extra bad because it's an auto-scroller. So,
It happens too, even the good runners, because they're trying to skip a thing at the top and they end up getting knocked all the way down. Also, Frey has no HP. I'm a little spooked.
Not like this, dude. Not to Elevator, man.
I think we're doing commentator's curse on Frayzlo, and maybe we should talk about him a little less.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about Matrick then. He's also trying to skip AC here.
Frayzlo! Talk about you! You died the skeletons! Skeletons are really hard to deal with because the way they move is really based on like how your positions are relative towards each other, so they can go anywhere from straight to almost like straight up or straight down. It really depends on how you control them. But it's difficult to control them when there's 2 of them and they're dashing asynchronously. And Matrick got the skip! Nice.
And Matrick did get the skip, so that's good.
Whew. Matrick uses a different setup there. He was actually closer to the statues. Most people use the setup where they stand further left, so as soon as they take the damage, they can just hold right for the whole duration of it.
Yeah, whereas Matrick was standing further over to the right and using the torch, I guess, as a visual indicator of like where you should be standing for that setup.
Most people use the grass. So the scary strat you can do on top of the elevator is the game's not checking if the skeletons are dead, it's checking if they're on screen. And if they're dead, they're not on screen. So you can kill one and push the other off screen and try and get through the gate as it's despawning. People have absolutely fallen down the entire elevator shaft trying to do this.
Are you one of those people?
There's a thing in this country where you don't have to speak if you don't want to. You can also call for a lawyer. I'd recommend looking into it, it's really good.
Yeah. You definitely could do the not speaking thing, but I'm...
Okay. Hold on, I think Fray's good. I interrupted you there because Frayzlo, you have to do a specific setup on this boss's health at the start of the fight to set up the skip later, and you actually made a mistake and had to overcorrect to fix it, but it's actually at the right value now. Yeah.
Clutch, I totally did not notice that.
Mm-hmm.
It just looked like the normal setup to me, so...
He messed up an earlier heal, so he had to overheal on the one after.
Oh, okay.
The goal in this fight is that there's a phase that's 40 seconds long and invincible. Maybe not 40 seconds, but it's very, very slow, right? If you stun her during the period she's transitioning, you skip it. He got it, he got it! Nice. Okay, that was good.
Yeah, it's a very hard skip to pull off, because, like, what is the frame rate use now? Is it, like, 3?
No, it's at least 4. It got slightly changed in the patch. Back in the time I got a GDQ, though, it was either 1 or 2 frames, no one's exactly sure, because we weren't 100% sure on it. Solgren might be able to tell us if he remembers. Either way, it was extremely hard. The most famous run killer in the run, it was an absolute mess. No run was a run until you had Miyogi 2 dead because of it. But since it's pretty consistent now, if you have the timing down, you can get it pretty much every time. She can still be mean and sort of mess with your setup and put a bunch of projectiles on screen before she gives you the attack you use for the visual cue, but still pretty much always reasonable.
Yeah. Also,
did Matrick mess up his setup? He restarted? I think he
yeah.
did.
Yeah, I think he just like got burned or something early and was like, yeah, I'm not gonna try and do the fight with this little health.
He did do the setup correctly, he has the right amount of HP. Can Frayzlo enter the password? The literally impossible puzzle.
Could he have had balls to do lava skip? No.
Yeah! Password!
But he did get password, so that's pretty good.
Literally impossible puzzle. I was trying to go for the same hype that Dash Retro's been selling for the meme of just entering a password, but I'm not sure if I was able to sell it, so, you know,
I can
if I'm sufficiently cringe,
right
just
now.
make as much fun of me in chat as you want. I still have to live the meme dream, because that's just the kind of person I am.
Hype?
I won't die from my memes. It's
that was,
fine.
yeah, that was, sufficiently awkward. Thanks, Joe.
You know, you could have backed me up on that one.
I could have, but I think that would have just been
it was
just sort of throw you under the bus.
Wallow in my own failure as I sort of second guess myself to just truly embrace the awkward atmosphere. It's like it's kind of like how we have no music right now because this area is bugged, right? It's like really adding to the awkward atmosphere. You just feel the ice growing on the sides. If Frayzlo dies, the music will come back. Wait. We were talking, and why is Magic at the start of the fight again? Low HP? I'm a real commentator. I watched the video game. I speak about the video game.
To be honest, yes. I was watching Chambers.
Yeah.
So...
he might get the skip.
Yeah. I mean, he'd be in there if he got the skip.
Setup. He got it. He's good.
Yeah.
Something unfortunate happened to his fight earlier, but at least he got the skip in the end. Maybe he failed the skip the first time, and realizing his HP was low, and that the fight's really hard at the end of it if you don't get the skip, maybe he just assumed he'd die, and he wanted to sort of, just go for safety instead of losing even more time, just try it again.
Yeah, I mean, his HP's pretty low right now.
So he might not just be confident in his ability to do the fight after the enrage. He did clear it. Okay, Frayzlo's going for quick kill strats. Music has returned, finally. Our glorious ears. It's way more fun to fight this boss off the arena. You're supposed to fight it on the arena, but, you know, over open air lets you dodge the attacks while maintain damage, because the only way to dodge the swings, if you're on the arena, he has to slide to the other side, so you're losing on damage opportunity. But when you do the fight like this, he might just get knocked off and fall off at any time. He's doing pretty well though. He got a bad angle on the thing, but he tanked it, and then he had the HP saved up. Sometimes you have to take damage, so... Oh no! Oh. No! Wait, hold on. It's bugged!
Oh, wait, he can just die. Yeah, he can just die.
No!
Oh god. That's really awkward.
He missed the quick kill by the tiniest window, right? So even though they were both, like, basically dead by that point, I think Purple had a pixel of HP left.
Yeah, that must have been what happened, because Red was regenerating.
And on either two of the other Enrage attacks, he could have still finished the fight, even when dead, because he could have knocked Purple down, because that's the only attack they're invincible on.
And also the attack was glitched because one of them was dead, so it becomes much harder to dodge than normal.
A good old dead trampoline orc.
Yeah, it's basically that was really unlucky.
Didn't get it. Okay. He didn't get the quick kill there, but what he did is that he finished off Purple, transitioning Red to like the sort of just sitting there phase instead of going into the Enrage, because they can't start the Enrage if one is dead. If he took too long to kill Red, Purple would have revived, but it was absolutely the right decision to do that, because he would not have gotten the quick kill if he tried to finish Red normally.
Yes.
Oof.
I think I understood what you said.
Yeah,
that checks out.
Again, didn't I? You need like an air horn. If I talk too fast and too incomprehensibly, you just sort of like MLG just toot me down.
I mean,
I'm saying you gotta train me like a dog with a spray bottle.
Into
becoming a good commentator. It's not the job you asked for, it was a job you were destined for, okay?
Alright.
Let's talk about Frayzlo.
Okay.
Decay.
Yeah, he's in the hardest platforming section of the game. Get ready for some of the most fun platforming mechanics that this game has to offer. There's crumbling platforms, there's these strawberry enemies that you have to kill to open up the fog walls. There's skeleton.
Oh geez, he barely made the platform. Oh, that was really close. That was spooky. Barely succeeded the strawberry room. This is one of the puzzle rooms. No one, I don't think, does the fast strat in this room in the race because it's just way too precise. You can sort of skip going back to the left one more time, but it's not worth doing. Even if you're really good at the game, if you practice a lot to go for that 3-second time save, very likely to just lose 15 seconds. Okay, climb section coming up. This section is really easy to throw because the worms, you really have to control their movement to circle around you to do it quickly. And if you do it wrong, they just knock you down. You don't have enough platforms left to go back up.
And well, he got his feet massaged by some spikes there, so I guess he'll try it again.
And yeah, he has to go back up again. Thankfully, he saved the platform.
Yeah, if he had landed on that platform, he wouldn't have been able to get back up, and he would have had to reset again.
Looks like Matrix's making good progress on the orcs.
Yeah.
He's not finish on Purple, though. He might have to cross early to finish Purple to prevent Red from entering an Enrage, or just sort of stomach an Enrage and try and finish it. His HP is low, too. I'm spooked, actually.
I think... Ooh, alright.
He was going in to finish Purple, right? But that's the only reason he got hit by the chain.
Oh man, and while that was happening, Frey almost missed the save before the Bone Snake and fell off.
Oh my
gravity and almost had to do the climb all over again. Which is why I held my breath there, but... whereas Matrix was met with misfortune, Frey luckily was able to recover and not die to gravity. So, good on him.
Swag strat, please? No, okay.
No. He's not that cool, dude. Relax. Relax.
One day he'll be that cool. I'll take him under my wing. We'll put on, like, shades and just sort of
under your fin
into the sunlight. Is dabbing still cool? I'm not really with the young kids, so...
It depends on if you're doing it or not. If you're doing it, no. Like, if I'm doing it, yeah, dabbing's hella cool, dude. Oh, and no, Matrix gets...
no, he's on Max again!
Axed. No. He gets axed a question by Maxine and dies.
No. I'm so sad. This was really a close race, and then he just sort of fell behind on Miyogi and Orcs. The late game bosses are giving him a lot of trouble. They're not easy bosses, but I'm really feeling for him here.
Yeah, especially because he had such a good PB recently. But I mean, it's not over till the fat lady sings. Like, there's still J2 and Azrael, both of which are extremely difficult and can cause Freya a lot of problems.
Are you calling Azrael a fat lady?
I am not.
I think we need to explain that there's a difference between thick and obese. I prepared these PowerPoint slides so I can truly understand.
I really would prefer if we didn't get into this.
Okay, that's fair.
Really?
Well, Frayzlo's almost at the boss, so we can let the chat judge for themselves.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity to say the Bat Lady instead of Fat Lady, because, you know, bat wings. That joke's not mine, it's someone funnier in chat.
Oh yeah?
Commentary game. Okay, so this fight's a mess, because it's like multitasking. He's already given up. Okay, take two. This fight's a mess.
Yeah, let's pretend like that first attempt didn't happen. Alright, so...
I think he was gonna die to gravity.
Yeah, she lowered the platform furthest left, and then, like, did some drive-by spikes while the reds were up, and...
So, like, the quick explanation for what you're doing on this boss, you're trying to maintain a good damage pace without overdoing it, because overdoing it means you can't damage. You're trying to dodge, you're trying to maintain these platforms that are constantly rising and falling, you're trying to raise them back up yourselves while she's lowering them. And on top of that, she has additional attacks she's throwing on that sort of mess up, like, when you can attack, when you can't. And you have things to kill and dodge, like, that she's spawning. It's multitasking the fight. The difficulty is further compounded by the fact that you have access to your Space Meatball during the thing, which is your temporary power-up for the end of the area. So you're managing, like, 2 jumps, your flutter, your attacks, and your transformation. Transformation's not instant either, you have to hold the button for a while to make it come out.
Yeah, so that way you can still utilize your flutter. Ooh, accidentally red shielding her there. Oh, and healing her! No, dude!
Saga removed the heal from the game.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because
I just saw him hit the red shield and I'm like, oh no. Alright, well...
The game, I don't remember what the exact bug was. I'm going to guess it was something like she got healed by a non-integer value, because I think you would make her HP go below 0 and not on 0, and the fight would just soft lock and refuse to end, and she'd just sort of go into space. It was something. Okay, Fray's done. Almost at the end of the game, just short area, 2 bosses.
And really, despite the initial difficulty with Azrael,
no, that fight was clean.
Yeah, no, he was able to... not counting the first attempt, because that was like, he got spiked twice and was like, yeah, alright, I've seen enough.
I think he wanted the mental reset. Like, he realized he was just making it right there. Just kind of decided to wait on that.
Yeah,
Frayzlo's the only person that does this. It's not slower, it's called the take a drink strat. It lets you take a drink of water. There's nowhere in this game where you get to take a drink of water. It's literally impossible.
Actually, that's another good thing to bring up about this game, is that there's no time
there's so little downtime.
Yeah, so that is one of the few places, and that and the right before the last boss.
Yeah, that's like the only real downtime in the run. It really sort of gets to you after a while. You're on a good run, you're over 30 minutes into the game, and you realize that you just haven't had like the slightest break.
Yeah, it's a intense focus throughout, for sure.
Okay, so this boss is fun. Most of the damage you get is from knocking back spikes into him, and you get way more damage for headshots. Maybe like 50% more? Not exactly sure, but the head hitbox is pretty narrow compared to the full body. That's one.
I'm think that's
not sure?
The second one was kind of sketchy. It's kind of in the neck area.
I'm not sure.
And based on the damage, I want to say it wasn't.
I'm not sure. We'll give it like a sort of half sad half toot of an air horn. It's like kind of like an MLG headshot, but you're not really sure, so you just kind of like mournfully squeeze the thing until the slightest noise comes out.
I mean,
quick question:
I don't know how to...
staff like actually like ban me if I put on air horn commentary?
Probably.
Is that just
honestly? I hope they would. To be honest, I feel like you definitely.
You know what? I don't own one, so I won't try it.
All right, perfect. Glad that got
glad that's taken care of.
Yep. Important important commentating notes with Shark3143. Alright, so welcome to the only downtime of the game. Yeah. The only downtime in the game is right here where you're waiting for your allies to join you before the final boss fight.
This boss is such a choke fest at all levels of running the game, because you think you get less choky, but when you get better, you start using your HP as a resource to do more damage, and guess what? It's still less choky! This fight's hard because you're constantly taking damage, and those life orbs your ally drops basically is just enough to mitigate that, and that's all. Most runners count this bit to the music. There we go, that was perfect. He's far enough to the left that he'll stay on the left. It's really frustrating when he crosses to the right, crosses through you, and takes extra damage. Or deals extra damage to you, I mean. Middle scream's good RNG. It's not bad. It's much better than right.
Yeah, very good damage-wise.
Yeah, this is good damage pace for getting a quick in range, actually. He's backwards. He's missing on some of the headshots. You only really do damage to the head on this boss. The tail is negligible. He can quick in range still, because he's about 50% here, right? But it needs to be a good setup here. He got hit, I'm sure. The tail's gonna hit him too, see? Yeah, he didn't get quick in range.
Yeah, that just, oh, and right scream too.
But, yeah, see, the thing with the quick in range is that he enrages below 40%. You can skip that second scream, so you don't have to sit around waiting in the protective bubble.
Yeah, and because of that unlucky sequence of events, he missed a life orb, so now he's gonna be... Ooh, now he's definitely one-shot the whole time.
Oh god, I thought he was dead.
No, he barely had enough iframes to make it through that.
I'm spooked. Please go to the right after this. Okay. Cross back over left? Thank god he's doing it right. Okay. If he didn't cross back over quickly, he wouldn't have had the opportunity to get this orb.
Wow, really sketchy.
What was that dodge?
Yeah, those were really sketchy angles there.
You can go off platform when dodging those, but he threaded the needle instead. Oh, he did. Yeah, come on.
Oh,
so
no, and he threw it! The 1 HP throw, the shark classic.
The shark choke! That's
Dude.
the new special.
How does it feel to be on the spectator side of things for once?
Heart-wrenching. It's still heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, this is Matrix's chance. He just needs one more of those, and he's oh, I guess he still has to deal with Azrael. Wow, he is actually pretty far behind still.
So I'm gonna guess when Frey comes in here for an interview, he's going to say, "Oh yeah, I only died on J2 because I learned to play from Shark." He's gonna say something like that.
I hope he does.
I'm nodding on that. He better be hilarious. Okay, well, Frey has plenty of time to kill the boss again, and, you know, a third or fourth time, because Matrix still has to go for Azrael. You already mentioned that, but, like, there's still so much of the game he has to go for to get to the end.
Yeah, and J1.
I mean, there's still, like, 6-7 minutes at this point for him, probably. With everything going rather smoothly.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair estimation. Really, the orc fight giving him a lot of trouble. And Miyogi as well. I think he died like twice or 3 times on Miyogi. Well, J2 is doing the J2 thing.
I guess, you know, when I was saying that Frey had enough time to do this boss like 3-4 times over, I wasn't like instructing him. I was just sort of saying it's something that could happen.
Yeah, but I think that we're fulfilling our purpose, which is to, you know, curse his run as much as possible.
That was a dodgy dodge, but it still worked.
Dodgy dodge. Alright. Fair enough.
There are people who are good with words, there are people
And
that
then
are
there's
bad
you.
with words, and there's scientists who are studying whatever it is that I do. So, you know.
Alright. Well, eloquence aside, you are very knowledgeable about the game, so tell us, is there anything that Frey should do differently to avoid... Okay. Like, so right there, he wants J2 to hit the ice trap, right?
Yeah, okay. If you want the technical analysis of what Frey could do in this fight to do it better, I think that he shouldn't get hit.
Yeah, I think that...
I think he should avoid damage. There's your technical analysis. Full,
I
like,
think
game
that is
knowledge.
everything that I ever wanted from
Really
your
deconstructed Frayzlo's gameplay and sort of like showed the exact key thing he needs to do to improve here. Don't take damage. Okay.
Well, what about
is
laser
this-
sinking? Isn't that
Is this a
technically?
wait, is this a glitched enrage? Okay. I was really worried there. 'Cause sometimes when he enrages on the left side, he tries to do his dive attack, but he also tries to leave the screen, so he sort of circles around you and you take unavoidable damage. It's really glitchy. But it worked that time. Damage? We got 40 HP. That's a generous estimate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was a pretty close on the laser.
He has time to get the orb.
Yeah.
I think you should go to the right and take the orb and do the crop rat. Okay. He's still in there. I think we'll kill the boss this time.
Probably. Seeing as I think he just joined us.
You
I think it is
spoiled
safe to assume that
The
this...
suspense, foe! You're supposed to go for the actual suspense. He almost fell off after the fight.
Yeah, I almost fell off.
Jeez.
So,
You won.
Yes. Yeah. This was a pretty good run considering all the huge mistake I made.
yeah.
Like, first time I reached J2, like
Do the
when I
crop
would have beat
rat.
him the first
Okay.
time.
He's still in there. I think we'll kill the boss this time.
It would have been what? Like,
Probably.
sub 46 by
Seeing as I think he just joined
Frayzlo, I
us.
think we've double
I think it is
spoiled
safe that this...
The suspense, foe! You're supposed to go for the actual
Yeah.
suspense. He almost fell off after the fight. There we go.
So,
You won. Now we can go back to the interview. What were you saying before
Yes.
that?
It would have been a pretty good run if I had beat J2 first time, considering
yeah.
all the huge mistake this run had.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
nailed the hard skips like first try pretty much, but long death.
Yeah.
Frayzlo, I think we have double audio on
Really
the stream.
long
Could you mute
Yeah,
your
we
audio?
will.
And then I did
Audio
too. Okay,
'Cause
that first one on J2 was my bad. The second one, the enrage was just, you wanted me dead. It was pretty crazy.
I think the most painful death in your run, though, was watching the elevator.
yeah, that
Oh,
elevator
yeah,
was
dude.
rough.
I
dude.
was-
Top of the elevator.
I knew I was gonna die because I was at 15. I somehow forgot to do how to do the turrets.
Did Matrick just die? with the
He Shark Tooth. Yeah, he just Shark Tooth.
This guy's gotta stop trying to impress me.
It's not a bad run for Metric.
No, Matrix PB is actually 52 minutes. I checked it just before the run.
Yeah, he just got it the other day.
Pretty unlucky with orcs, unfortunately. Had a hard time with them. And died to Miyogi a few times, but other
Well,
than that, it went very
yeah.
well for him.
It was pretty much those two parts that really held it back. Like, this could have been like a PB for him. It did lose several minutes of those two parts. He's really
Yeah.
on the cusp of, like, getting a big PB. If he just has one run, it's, like, relatively clean. You know?
Yeah.
Just like a no boss death kind of run is all he needs.
And did he just die off the top? That was crazy.
The top doesn't have a death kill box, but there's spikes that on the sides of the arena you can see as you're entering it, so I think he was holding right or left. He could have fell back in.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought, because I'm like, wow, that was crazy that he died.
So how did Matt's run go? What were his big saves?
Well, his big time saves were everything that wasn't Miyogi, and
Yeah, actually really even. He had a bad floating key, but caught up to you by the grotto. And he
Yeah,
didn't get solidly ahead for a long time. I think it's when he died the credit rack that you got back ahead.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But he died at the
Kinda
very end
yeah.
of Crad. Uh-oh, J1 and Ridge.
My Grotto 2 was really hard. I
Yep.
died plenty of time.
Matrick
Yeah,
was actually
you
really good.
died on the what's it? The minecart at the end of that long minecart section, and that
Mhm.
allowed
Yeah.
Matrick to catch back up.
That was like
Yeah.
a 40-second. It felt
Yeah.
bad.
I've had so many weird deaths this run.
Yeah, the elevator was like, we were talking about the brute's mechanics and how we had never seen them, and then you just
Yeah.
get shot by the brute. I'm like, well, glad that Frayzlo is like listening to us and is able to demonstrate that the brutes actually do shoot lasers.
And we don't
If
make
you,
stuff up. Although we do
yeah.
make stuff up, but sometimes we don't.
Actually, running against Matrick was so much more stressful than running against Moon. When there's the possibility that your opponent can upset you, that's so much
You
more
don't want to be
pressure.
the person who gets upset.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You feel more comfortable losing in a close race, for sure.
yeah.
But you're 1-1 now in the tournament. How do you feel going into week 3?
I think I have a good shot at winning week 3 if I play well, considering who's gonna be 1-1 also. It really depends what it gives me. If it gives me like Frozen, I'm gonna not win, that's for sure.
Yeah. Because there are good people who are 1-1.
Yeah, my opponent.
I think that if you're good in weeks like 4 and 5, I think you could make the final top 8 bracket, but you're gonna have to work for it.
I definitely will PB before my next race, depending when I schedule it. I've been really close. If I had beat G2 on first try, I would have been like a minute off, and you saw how awful this run was.
Yeah, no, there's a lot you can improve, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Like, literally just like one elevator death.
Was
And,
that minute, so...
Yeah, it was that minute. And that's like...
Then the grottos.
Oh yeah, the grotto, you had a huge death there too.
I think I had a lot of huge mistakes, but not many small ones.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
the thing.
pretty much.
You have a run where you can make small mistakes, but if you just clean up like the boss deaths and like the huge mistakes, you can get like a minute's PB for sure. You do lots of like, you know, correct strats, and maybe it's not the fastest strat, but it's definitely like a good enough kind of thing. You don't need great strats to get in like 40-minute time for sure. You just need to have it clean.
Seeing how this run went, it seems feasible to at least reach a 42 with like some work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that's a pretty fair estimation. Because, like, you were able to execute a lot of the difficult stuff very quickly. Like, you know, M2 skip.
Yeah, solid M2 skip. AC skip, you know,
the Troll Cave skip.
Okay, well, that was Magic Skip first Friday, but...
Yeah, I know, but you did it in a very, reasonable amount of time.
Yeah,
I did it like 4 times.
I did it fast. When you're stressed, you press the button so much faster.
Yeah.
And mess up with the timing. But Rick practiced it for like an hour right before the race.
Oh, he's so good at it.
He first tried it. He actually first tried it.
He's actually better than me. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's extremely good at that trick.
Did you get the falling? The flying?
Yeah, he got good
okay,
skip
cool.
as well.
So that and the Troll Cave is what he practiced a ton just before the race. So I'm glad we got them both.
Yeah, he got them both. He's really able to like put his mind to something and like see the results of the effort pay off. He just doesn't have enough time in the game overall to like have a really good time yet. He's gotta clean up the bosses. By the way, it looks like Matrick is joining us, slightly spoiling your triumphant victory. But hey, Matrick, how's it going?
Hi.
Really?
Yeah, that's a mood.
Yep.
That's definitely a mood, man.
You've definitely been there too, man.
The tilt was so full as soon as the orcs hit. Like, I got ticked off at Myogi when I missed the skip, and I was like, whatever. And then orcs hit, and it's like I forgot how to play. I don't know what happened. I was like, I completely forgot how to play.
I also had a death on orcs, which was really unfortunate. I didn't realize that purple was on 1 HP.
Try 9 of them.
Oh god.
Yeah. It was a rough look.
It's okay. We both played worse than usual.
But hey, Matt, there's something I want you to know. We were just talking about the positive things you're able to do, because honestly, despite like the troubles, you really did show how you're really able to like practice and like cleanly execute things people have a lot of trouble with, like that first try cave skip. Props to you, seriously.
Yeah, that was crazy.
People
First
aren't
try
doing that
cave
in
skip
races.
was nuts.
That was good.
I work on Veil 2 the most out of anything, because that whole area is awful.
One death there is like minutes.
Well, yeah, you had a very clean veil too. The skip was perfect.
By the way, I'd like to thank Frayzlo for blessing my run at the beginning. You all saw that.
Yeah.
I went under the chomper, and the thing spawned on top of me, sending me all the way back to the beginning of the game.
Oh, good. I love it.
Yeah, that's I actually yelled out, "Blame Frayzlo," when that happened. I was so mad. It set me back like 30 seconds right at the start. I was like, oh yeah, and then I mistimed the Myogi swing, so I had a 4-cycle. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, yikes.
My run was really clean until Grotto, and then I heard that you catched up to me.
Yeah, because he took a death on the minecart, so you caught up. by that point, because at that point, both of you had executed everything really cleanly. So
It was super even for a really long time. It was until Crack that it started getting apart again. It was a
Yeah.
very
Oh, Crat
clean race to
screwed
follow
me
at
too. Crat completely screwed me. Like the screen like completely killed my momentum and just dropped me under him. I was like, what happened there? So
Thanks,
yeah,
famous for doing that, for sure.
yeah. Oh well, it's you know what? I just look at it like this. Basically, every bad thing that possibly could have happened, and I still turned in a sub hour.
You
Yeah.
got it out of your system. The
So
next one's gonna be really good.
what was your PB like 2 days ago before the
54
52?
flat.
Yeah, you're like pretty close to that. For
Yeah,
a
I
haze.
mean, I was 54 flat RTA with a 5306, and before that it was like a 57 something with a 58 whatever, and I beat
Yeah.
even that, and I had a gold J2 somehow.
Oh, that's cool. I messed up
Yeah.
my split at some point. I just skipped stuff, and so I don't really know where my golds are. But yeah,
Well, GG to you, dude.
yeah, GG. Good race. You
Good
had me
race.
really stressed tonight. So that was good.
Alright. We about ready to wrap it up then?
Yeah.
yeah, I think so.
Don't forget
Okay.
to sell out.
Oh yeah, don't forget to sell out. Let's follow the runners, the commentators with these nice little chat commands I'm putting in to give everyone links to the runners and commentators. And with that, we're going to be signing off. So thanks for showing up to the race. We've got more tomorrow morning, I believe. Let's link our schedule in the chat as well, and we'll see you guys there.
It's yeah, it's in a few hours, like 10. Thanks all. Thanks for commentary. Thanks for watching.
And hopefully I'll see you everyone here next time. Thanks for coming out, and laters.